Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dreamers of all ages, welcome to the Disney Countdown Show.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the second to last episode of season 3 of the Disney Countdown Show. My name is Megan, the magical millennial, and joining me today is my wonderful co-host, the dapper Danielle. How are you doing on the East Coast over there, Danielle?
I'm doing great, babe. I have some caffeine in me. I'm a little more awake today. It's going great.
Good.
We are on another list that I think I was struggle busing with again. I don't know. I just have too much self-doubt with myself, Megan. I don't know.
I get it. These are tough. It's tough.
But this is like the end of the season. I should be well seasoned. End of the season, well seasoned.
Pun intended.
Into
Absolutely.
This
yes.
already.
I know. I totally get it. The lists have been tough to form this year. I think it's easy to put them in. Let's just say that. It's easy to put them in, be like, these are the ones I'm going to try to rank, but it's tough to rank them, you know? Right. And then you straight up forget things like me, who forgot Tangled in the soundtrack episode. Like, what? So yeah, stuff like that can happen, but that's okay. That's why we have fun with this show. It's all subjective. It's all based on personal preference. We know that.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of fun. And guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, of course, this episode or the next 2 episodes, we are going to be counting down our top 10 Disney Channel shows. Mm-hmm. These are the shows that originated on Disney Channel. These aren't Disney Plus shows. Okay, we're talking Disney Channel from, I think we said the 90s, Danielle, up until today.
Well, we kind of gave it a really broad spectrum, right? Because Disney Channel originally started on April of 1983. Mm-hmm. And being the millennials that we are, we're going to be probably a little more biased towards certain shows. So I'm so sorry to our friends that maybe watched Disney Channel right when it first premiered in the early 80s to mid 80s. Mm-hmm. There will probably be some shows I will mention for like historical reference because some of them are crazy. But a lot of my shows actually won't be referencing into like the 2010s, because I've said this in previous episodes, Megan. We've talked about this. I didn't have cable growing up as a kid.
Yeah,
so
I know. Mm-hmm.
My relationship with certain shows was watching them in the hotel room, at my grandparents' house, and over at friends' houses. So my relationship with certain shows comes from when I was a cast member in the 2010s. Yeah. So, and doing product knowledge and getting and testing out, seeing shows before sometimes they air to the regular audience. So I have a little more different opinions.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's totally fine. I'm right there with you. I don't think I have any shows that are like, before the 90s, even early 90s, because I was born in 92. So therefore I had to kind of grow up a little bit to understand any of the shows that I was watching. So this is going to be a very, very fun episode. Excited to get into it. But we want to say also, guys, happy Memorial Day. This episode is airing right on Memorial Day. So thank you all. And thank you so much to our service members who have served, are currently serving. Thank you to the families of service members. I know my grandfather, who is no longer with us, he passed away in 2020. He was in the Marines, and then my father is also former Marine too. So we thank you guys for basically doing the ultimate sacrifice and serving our country. So happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great long weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know some of y'all will be enjoying with your families, because it is a holiday for most, and we have the time off from work, or maybe have time off from school. Actually, most schools have started summer break too here now recently, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. My sister is graduating in just a few days from high school, which is crazy.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
You have to tell her we all say congratulations. Yes,
I will. Thank you.
Yes, and congrats to all the other grads that are graduating either from high school or from college that are listening to us right now, or maybe you're a parent of a grad too. Congratulations, you got them through, and now you're just hanging out listening to us talk about random Disney things.
So thank you for taking the time to be here. Congrats on a huge accomplishment. But we also appreciate you guys following us along on the socials. If you have not done so already, we are at Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We post a lot of fun content over there. We're also Pod Disney on Twitter / the X, and we do post our full episodes where you can see our smiling faces on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Countdown Network. And then, of course, I am at the Magical Millennial _ on all the things, and she is the Dapper Danielle on all the things. And we do post some fun videos as well. Danielle has her late night talks and rants, and I watch them every time, and they're great. So y'all should so too.
I've kind of gone off the deep end here recently of talking about some merchandise things that I don't really love, or
That's
I'm just
okay.
like, okay, like there's some history inconsistencies. I got stopped by some of our other social media friends that are here at Walt Disney World, and they came up and they're like, Danielle, we really love this tea you've been sharing here recently. And I was like,
the people need to know. We need to know about these things, because
they do.
There's merch coming out of what feels like every day, right? And it's some of it, especially on the shirts and a lot of the clothing. If you see the discrepancy, we gotta call it out. I'm sorry, it's one of the biggest companies in the world. Let's be real about it. So
and so here's a ratatouille before we even get into some of our messages and everything else that we need to get to. But my little ratatouille here for the beginning of this episode is I got a message from one of our regulars over on Instagram, and she's like, Danielle, I just saw this Adventureland shirt. Why does this look so weird? And I'm looking at it, and I of course I'm like, super sleuth, zoom in, enhance image. And I'm looking at this shirt, and I'm like, I recognize this artwork. Who does this belong to? And I was looking at the silhouettes of like the Jungle Cruise boat and the hippopotamus and the trees. And I'm like, this is Jeff's artwork. He's the one that does all the tiki artwork and like the pineapple bird design. He created a Jungle Cruise piece of art back in 2020. And I'm like, this is a copy and paste of the silhouette.
No way.
And I was like, oh my gosh, did Disney just rip off their own artist? Is this AI created? So I was like, okay, before I put them on blast, before I make a video and I get spicy about it, I actually messaged Jeff. I found his work email through Instagram, and I said, hey boo, I got questions for you. And I asked, I was like, hey, is this you? Before I say anything, I recognize your artwork from a mile away. Can you confirm if you had anything to do with this piece? And he said, yes, don't put them on blast. That is my artwork. I am shocked you recognized it. And he created a pack of artwork to present to Disney, and Disney bought the kind of like the rights or the book of all these art styles, so that way they can make whatever kind of products they want to. They just did a really bad job with the perspective of using his artwork. And hodgepodged it together to create this. So it's using his art, but he didn't actually create it, and he did get paid for it. So
good.
That's all good. And I'm glad I did my research beforehand before I made a video putting him on blast. But yes, so don't worry, y'all. I'm out here. I'm doing the research. I'm trying to find out before I let y'all know. Yes.
She is a responsible content creator, everybody. She asks the questions. She does the research. And thank goodness for the Dapper Danielle, because, hey, what if they did rip them off? I don't know. Like, we gotta know.
Maybe the rest of the world will keep thinking that Tinkerbell's canceled. And I'm just like, boo.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And so what
Google
I love
is free, everybody, but that's we're here for you to fact check all that too.
Right.
Don't
exactly.
worry.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And even just keep finding my videos and tag the other people that are putting out the fake news too late, and it's all good. It's all good. But we do have people, speaking of people tagging us and stuff and people sending us stuff, we have some reviews that we need to go through. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. If y'all are one of our regulars listener here, welcome back. And don't forget that you can write a review. Like, you can give us little stars, write us out a review over on Apple, over on Spotify, you give us the little stars, but then send us a DM of your reviews over on Instagram, or you can also send it to our email, which is disneycountdownshow@gmail.com. And you can send us there also. We call that fan messages, but these first two are reviews from the apples. And this one is Amber M87, and it says, I love this, multiple exclamation marks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And then I love how they put in all caps, how am I so late to this party?
It's okay. Fashionably late. It's all good.
It's all good. I follow both of you ladies on social media and I love the podcast. I heard Danielle on another podcast season final and I have been binging ever since. Thank you for the fun countdowns and excellent news from both coasts. Love it.
Yay. Aww. Thanks, Amber. Better late than never. We appreciate you being here. And thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Wait, what podcast was that, Danielle? Do you remember?
Oh, hold on. I'll pull up their name right now as you start yours and I will let you know who the show I was just on.
I'll move on to the next one. This next one is from Ramos Girls GMA and says, thank you with 5 stars. Hello. I just want to thank you for recognizing teachers on the most recent podcast. I am a first grade teacher and currently deep in the trenches as we close out another school year. It feels good to hear how teachers impact lives and are fondly remembered. Of course. We have to recognize our teachers and I mean, just give all the props, all the kudos to the teachers. I mean, y'all are amazing. I don't know how you do it. It was, I've had a lot of teachers that have made a big impact on my life through elementary, middle, and high school. I mean, and professors in college. And y'all are just, you are incredible. And we appreciate all that you do. So
absolutely,
of course, recognize it on Teacher Appreciation Day.
And you enjoy summer break coming up. You relax.
Yes,
go
you
get
deserve
a mimosa, something.
Yes, please do. Please relax and enjoy.
Now, Megan, I did find the podcast I was on. They
okay, great.
They are our friends. They're called Drafting the Magic.
Cool. That's right.
Yes, okay. It's 2 guys and they're both based over at California. Used to be cast members. So we actually bonded over a lot of stuff in the episode. It was very amusing. Outside of the recording, I was talking to them and they were just like, well, what did you do for Disney? And I said, well, I taught a class called Traditions of Our Town towards the end, which is like the third party version of Traditions. And they're like, shut up. We both taught the version of that over here in Disneyland to downtown Disney. And so it was a great time. We had great conversations and their setup is that instead of doing a countdown, like what we do is that they try to draft and pick like the best Disney day. And then the guest host has to judge what it was. And I made it hard because again, they're California people and they hadn't been to Florida in a hot second. So I gave them crap about it. They're not as well balanced as we are over here on the Disney Countdown show, but they were fun, great to listen to. And we're so happy that you guys came over and listened. Amber, so happy you came back and listened to our episodes to get us caught up on the Disney Countdown show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, Danielle. I'm glad that you had that awesome conversation with them.
Hey, we're building the community. We're talking to other people within the podcast community too, as that's still something. I mean, we've been at this for what? This is now our 2nd season. We're going into our 3rd, the 4th of this show here very, very soon. And I still feel very new to it. I'm still learning. And so we got to talk to our friends and our neighbors to grow more.
Exactly. Support each other too. Definitely. Oh yeah.
Yes. But we also have we got some more fan messages. Megan, we got to get on top of these because we've been building these up. And now that we're getting to the last 2 episodes, we kind of got to get through some of these. But this one is from Patrick over on Instagram. And this one says, spent the past several days at work listening to many episodes of this podcast. Found myself counting down with you and forming my own list in my head. My favorite episode so far was the Disney Broadway songs. Thank you so much for bringing joy to my work day, which I work at Disney. So it's already pretty magical, but extra dose of pixie dust. Thanks to you all. Thank you, Patrick.
Yay, Patrick, thank you for the magic that you make at the parks. And that was a very fun episode to do with our Theater Countdown brothers. Yes.
We will have to get them on in the next season. We're going to have to do another crossover episode. And I'm already trying to think of like what kind of topics we can talk about with them. And like,
I know.
I want to get them on more Ratatouilles because I know they will just go for it.
They were just, oh my God, they're so fun to kind of just, riff off of. They are... the energy was great in that episode. They're just a great 2 guys. They're awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just go listen to them too. Go catch up on their episodes over on Theater Countdown.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
All right, Danielle, do you want to take this next one as well?
Yeah, this one's from Marty, also on Instagram. And this one says, "You are magic on Monday mornings." Oh, thank you. I feel like we need that on a t-shirt. We'll work on
Magic
that. That'll
on
be
Monday.
the next
I love
merch
that.
for the next one.
Yes.
And it says, love the games. Chris, you are the game master. Shout out to our producer, Chris. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to echo what another listener said a couple episodes ago about Howard Ashman, a lyricist. He was unbelievably creative and instrumental in the Disney Renaissance. One of my most favorite songs he wrote is Disneyland for the musical Smile, 1986 music by Marvin Hamlisch. Book and lyrics by H.A. And did you know that Jody Benson was the actor who originated the song on Broadway?
Oh, really?
Oh, a short 3 years later, she would become part of the Disney World. I'm going to have to look into that, or I'll just talk to our theater fam. Like we just talked about them. I'll be like, have you ever heard of this show called Smile, this musical? I'm gonna have to do some research on that one.
That's a perfect topic. Yes. Yeah. Good old like Disney Broadway history for us. That's awesome. Thank you, Marty. All right. This next one is from Anne on Instagram, and she says, "Hi, Megan and Danielle. I just want you to know I received the April giveaway, and he's going to fit right in with my Disney collection." Oh, that's so awesome. Congratulations.
She got the little Spike the Bee.
Yeah, so cute. I also am a huge Swiftie, so the friendship bracelets are my new obsession, and I love collecting them. Please thank Dapper Mom for the bracelets. I will absolutely be wearing them on my next trip, which will be Disneyland in September for my birthday. Hooray! This podcast makes me feel so connected to Disney when I can't be there, and I'm so happy to be a part of the D33 fam. Oh, Anne, we're so happy to have you. That's so amazing. Congrats on winning the giveaway.
If y'all aren't familiar, part of our DC33 fam, and we'll talk about this in a second. Part of the DC33 fam is that we do monthly giveaways also. And it's just part of your membership for that level of Patreon member. And we have random items that we give away. And April's, because it was very fitting for spring and Flower and Garden Festival, I had a brand new Spike the Bee sipper. And Dapper Mom wanted to create the little Swiftie friendship bracelets. So she made a couple, one for that said Megan the Magical Millennial, the Dapper Danielle. Right. I think the other one was Magic Maker, or it was Countdown Show. And then she made a small one that says Spike and made it to fit on the sipper's hand also. So Spike is wearing one also on the sipper.
That's so cute.
It was really cute. So thanks, Anne. We really appreciate it.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
All right.
All right. You want to take this next one? We got two more here.
Is from Susan. I don't know why I said her name that way, but Susan.
Like mini yelling Susan.
I don't know, because I don't know. I think it's one of those names like when I'm like, when like we're making a TikTok skit, right? And we're like doing like a random like yelling bit, or like that imaginary person that we're going back and forth and talking to. Susan's one of those characters in my head for one of those like TikTok back and forth characters. So I think that's why I was like, yelling at Susan. That's Susan. We love you, Susan. It's all good. But she says, "Just want to say I love the podcast. I found it about a week ago and have binged every episode." We have a lot of episodes.
Wow. Whoa. Amazing.
She says, "It's helping me plan my first ever Disneyland trip. I'm a Disney World local and typically listen to the podcast at work and while I'm doing my morning walk around Epcot. I thought of a bonus episode for y'all's makeup routines to keep y'all looking stunning in Florida and the California heat."
That is a good idea. Yeah. Can do. We can definitely do that. Absolutely. Danielle can obviously attest to the Florida makeup routine, and I could do California's. They are quite similar because the heat, we get a dry heat out here. We are a temperate/desert climate, while Florida is obviously tropical and humid.
We could totally do that. Like if we came on and we just did like kind of how we do it here, and we're you could watch it on Spotify actually, possibly, because the way that Spotify is working, and you can do it for YouTube, and we'll just make it an exclusive link for the Patreon members. Like they can still access it too through that. Oh, that's a good idea. And then we're just talking at each other as we're doing our makeup from coast to coast, because you'll probably be doing yours in the morning where I'm not doing mine until late at night anyway. So
right.
before I go out anywhere. Oh, that's an idea. I like that one a lot, Susan.
Yes,
okay, maybe we'll pin that one.
I think it'd be good timing too for season 4 because it will be summer at the time. So all right.
We'll teach y'all how we bake with translucent powder and
That's right.
keep things from melting.
Yep, it's just stuck to the face. Yes. All right, this next one is from Chloe on Instagram. She says, "Hi, absolutely love the podcast. I think both of your personalities work so well together. It's so fun to hear different perspectives. I think you should do a countdown on your top 10 unpopular Disney opinions." Oh, our hot takes. Okay, a hot take countdown. We could do that.
That would be a spicy one.
We could get spicy. Yeah.
That could be a way to, that would literally be a way to heat up and kick off episode 4. Or season 4. That's an idea.
4? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Chloe. I love that.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for leaving those reviews and sending us messages. We really do appreciate it. And we just mentioned earlier that, yes, we do have a Patreon, and we want to shout out our new Patreons who've just joined the fam. That's Amber, Serena, Rayanne, and Aaron. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for being a part of our magical family. We do have different tiers to our Patreon. We have the pass holder, or the park hopper, pass holder, and DC 33. So whatever fits your fancy, you do get all the bonus content no matter what tier that you decide. But we do have different stuff at each level that we like to do. We actually have our DC 33 and pass holder family watching us and listening to us record right now. So hello everybody over there. They're in the chat. Hi guys. But it's really fun over there. We also do have we had our our May virtual hang just a few days ago. It's so fun to get to actually chat with you guys face to face, hear about your love for Disney, answer any questions that you have. We have a monthly virtual hang for some of our tiers in our Patreon, and I love those. I look forward to those every month. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And even though we will be taking a break for most of the month of June, don't worry. I think we are planning on doing a virtual hang to check in with everybody during the month of June. Just to say, hey, we're still around. We're prepping for the next season. It's all good. And again, it's just a really good way for us to connect with our listeners from all over the world.
Yes, we have like international listeners and Patreons.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Really Patreon cool. listeners from everywhere. And our little family, our little Patreon family has grown to over 250 members now, which is crazy.
Yay, that's crazy. Wow. So thank you guys. It's a lot of fun. Yes.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah. And of course, if you don't want to join the Patreon, totally fine. That's fine. If you are a paid subscriber, you still get access to all the bonus content. But we do have our Patreon link in the episode notes if you are interested in joining.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Danielle. So let's talk about recent visits to the parks. What's going on in your world over there? Because we got the Tiana's announcement recently. We talked about that last episode. Yes. And how I was trying to get can I speak to my my D23 experience trying to get Tiana's private event? Oh my gosh. First of all, y'all, the tickets went on sale for this private event for D23. They are doing a Tiana's Bayou Adventure Party over at Magic Kingdom on June 22nd. Okay. And so I love D23. I love being a part of it. These tickets for these events are near impossible to get. I still can't believe I got them for Cosmic Rewind in 2022. So I tried for Tiana's. Okay. And this was Thursday, 10 a.m. Of course, for some reason at my fiance's house in Palm Desert, the Wi-Fi wasn't working on my laptop. And I was like, no. I need multiple screens to try and get these tickets, right? I always have my phone and I have my laptop because usually it's my laptop that gets through first. Even if I join the queue, if I click, buy tickets before the queue opens, it's always my laptop that gets in first. So I'm like, we need to go to a cafe. And so we went to a coffee place, very nearby, and I joined the Wi-Fi, and it was, I was waiting, and of course, lo and behold, my laptop is the one that got through first, even though I joined from my phone 20 minutes earlier. So it's the bar is moving. I get in, right, at around maybe 10 minutes, and 10 minutes after 10.
Wow.
And in my head, I'm like, there's no way these tickets are still available. There's no way. They're not updating the queue page, by the way. It's just saying, okay, you're this much in line.
So you have no idea if you're waiting for anything.
I have no idea if they're sold out at all. Yeah. No clue. And so I get in, I get to the page, and it keeps giving, I can't scroll down. It moves to an error message. The website is down after 3 seconds and gives me an error message. I'm like, what is going on? I can't click on anything on the page. I'm like, this is so typical for Disney and the queues and getting these tickets. And so it makes me change my password to my Disney accounts. I just did that, by the way, 4 days before that. So I had to change it again. So now all my Disney accounts have another password. And so I do that. I sign back in. I'm like, and I go to the page. It's working somehow, but they're sold out. I don't know if they sold out before I got in or during the whole fiasco with the error page. But yeah, they sold out. So if you got those tickets, congratulations. It's, again, near impossible to get. So I honestly do not know. I have not booked a flight over to Orlando during the annual pass holder previews or just anytime before Tiana's officially opens. So I still don't know if I'm going to try, because I don't even have a reservation for Magic Kingdom on any of those days. I'd have to do the 1 p.m. queue anyway.
See, and I was looking at it after we hung up. I was just like, you know what? Maybe I need to look and see if I can get a reservation. And I'm like, oh, it's saying I can't make one for the 20th for some reason. Like, oh, they must be gone. No, my mother was more on top of it than I was, and she made a theme park reservation for me and Dapper Mom and Dad, and we have a reservation for the 20th. Good. Right now. Doesn't mean, I don't know if that means we're going to get to be able to do the preview or not, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's the virtual queue, which if you're an annual pass holder, I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get it. If not at the 7 a.m., then at least the 1 p.m.
Maybe.
But it's not guaranteed. So I don't know, y'all.
It's like, do you risk it for the biscuit? A whole trip from California to here to maybe try it for like a day to see if you can get in?
I would have to just go in with the mentality that, listen, this is just going to be a fun Disneyland trip. I'm an annual pass holder. Just go in, have fun, and whatever happens, happens. So, and I could do that, It's going to be hot as all heck for sure in June anyway. Mm-hmm. So I just got to go in and just breathe and be like, okay, you know what? This is just going to be fun. I'm going to have fun no matter what. And that would be
do a whole series about how to AC hop around Magic Kingdom while you're waiting to see if you can get into Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
It's not a bad idea. Like, especially because, Epcot is my favorite park, but it's also the hottest park, right? There's very little shade. So that'd be a good one to do. Animal Kingdom is also the hottest park because of all the trees humidity. And the humidity. It just stays there. So that's not a bad idea, Danielle.
It's something. It's something we got to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll keep those conversations going. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I don't know. So keep me posted. You tell me if you end up changing your mind last minute. I'm flexible. I'm here. And thank you to all the cast members that do listen, and to the cast members that have reached out here locally to say, hey, Danielle, do you want to come with me to the cast member preview? Because they all just signed up for theirs just the other night. They all got their preview times, and then Magic Kingdom preview is going to be on June 2nd for those cast members. So it's just the Magic Kingdom fam. They're able to go on the 2nd. And so again, thank you to everyone that reached out. I will be waiting. And if I do go, it's going to be probably during the annual pass holder preview, because I don't think cast members, you will necessarily be allowed to record. We don't know that for sure.
Right.
And if I go, I don't know. I'm still really psyching myself up for this ride. In 100% honesty, as people are like, oh, Danielle, you want to come with me this day? Do you want to come with me this day? I'm like, not really. Because I just don't want to do the droppy ride. So I will do it. I will do it eventually, but I'm trying to push that as far back as possible. Not like next week during the previews. So
Right.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yes. Oh my gosh. But anyway, there's also some news that I've been keeping up with. Airbnb they've got locations all over the world, thousands upon thousands. I've booked many an Airbnb in my life, and I've absolutely loved my experience. They have this new collab with Disney and Pixar, and they are doing what's called the icons. So they're having houses from Disney and Pixar movies in various parts of the United States. A lot of
because some of our friends got previous to this, right?
Yes, they got to go and see at least the new Up House, and it's the literal Up House, and it is suspended in the air, and you could go and stay there. This was actually starting Friday the 24th. That one opened up. So yeah, can you believe that? It's actually suspended up in the
It's not like the air. It's not like the house that's over in, is it Arizona or Utah? One of those places?
It is in New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
Yes. Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it looks like unbelievable. Exact replica of the Up House from the movie.
That's crazy.
Right? Amazing. Amazing. It leads me to my question, because I was thinking about this before we started recording. Danielle, if you could live in any of the Disney Pixar homes that we see in the movies, what would you choose? Do you have any, like, off the top of your head?
Yeah, okay, I talked about this in the soundtrack episode and also in the episode about like Disney couples and the Incredibles home. I specifically the one from Incredibles 2, just because I'm a sucker for mid-century modern furniture. And if there was a water feature like what's inside that house also, that would be amazing.
It's because we love that. Yeah, from Incredibles 2, that home was stunning, right? With the water features that go through the home, but like maybe a little bit outside. That was also on a hill with a really good view. So I love that. But yeah, there is, because there's also now, there's a brand new Airbnb that's Edna Mode's house. So similar to one of your favorites. It's Edna Mode's. And there's an actual call box like hers right outside. And it's got Incredibles like stuff inside too. You got some of the costumes for the superheroes. It's crazy. So that's one of the new ones that they made. And
I'm just impressed with the level of detail that Airbnb is really trying to push for this stuff. And like they're creating props that look like they're from the movies and like little tiny details that like most people would just be like, oh, that's what is that? That's just a vase. And then at the same time, we're like, no, this is from this scene of this movie. And this is this detail from Edna Mode's workshop. I think that's so cool. Like I've seen those pictures, and I've also seen the pictures for the X-Men 97 house.
Yeah, there's an X-Men house too. Yep.
I love how it looks like it's like 2D and like it has the marker lines and the outlines on like even the door frames and on the picture frames. I thought that one was pretty cool too.
Some of the like coolest collabs from Airbnb, Disney, Marvel, and Pixar, like you're literally immersed into the worlds and these movies and shows that we've been watching for so long. And it's just stunning. And I believe there's an Inside Out 2. I think there's Inside Out 2 house coming, because this is all in preparation for Inside Out 2 coming out in June. So I think it's a great idea. I would love to try and stay there myself if I could. I'm looking at dates right now and I'm like, okay, what's available? It's so funny because for the Up House, Carl is literally the host for this house in New Mexico. It says it's Carl Fredrickson as the host with his little picture and his little icon, and it says retired balloon salesman. Like, how cute is that? Right? And I'm pretty sure, Edna Mode is probably the host for her house, because you can get like a one-on-one consultation with the help of Edna's team of expert designers, figure out your superpower. There's just so many little, not little, but like big details that, again, just immerse you into our favorite Pixar movies. So,
well, I think it's super interesting. Cool. Because it's really actually a very smart collaboration, right? Because if Disney try to create these super immersive experiences, like within either Disneyland or even Disney World, there would be no chance of availability. And because everybody's already coming here anyway to go to the parks. But by having these Airbnbs in other places that don't have necessarily a theme park associated with it, it's really driving the tourism to these other cities around the US, but still creating that immersive Disney environment, which is really smart. And it actually might be more doable for some families versus coming all the way to either California or Florida.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. It's because there's just another element, another attraction to see. I mean, I guess, yeah, outside of the parks. So,
right. Well, and then I'd be hanging out in the house all day.
I'd just be staying there. Oh yeah. It's like your little mini vacation. Absolutely. So yeah, this again, it's a very cool collab that's going on, and there is going to be an Inside Out 2 headquarters. So they say stay tuned to see what Joy has in store. So that's exciting. That's coming up. That's going to be soon at some point. Yeah. So great job to Airbnb and Disney for that one.
Yes, we will be on the lookout for more information, because I think this is like a whole project that they're doing, and that there's more. I think even coming out after the Up House, or not the Up House, the Inside Out house too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll see what else is down the line.
It's coming. I know. Very exciting.
As a reminder, this is what Airbnb is calling their Icons collection, which is extraordinary experiences from the world's greatest locations, aka being Disney and Pixar movies. And if you want to find out more about these icon locations, definitely check out airbnb.com for more information.
All right, Danielle, I think that is actually a great segue into today's Disney news.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. Our first breaking story is that we will be smelling beignets around Tiana's Bayou Adventure. No, you will not be smelling the bromine of the water as the logs go zipping past you. Nay. Supposedly, we're going to be smelling beignet like smells. So kind of like how they have this, or are they called smellicizers? Like where they had this little.
Yeah,
you
something
know what
like
I'm talking
that.
about, though.
They got them on Main Street, and they lost them there. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Main Street technology where they push out the smells of like the sugars and the caramels, and it like entices you in. They're gonna have something very similar over at Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but beignet smelling.
That is gonna be delicious, and probably drive people to go and buy beignets, which they're bringing to Magic Kingdom. If I am not mistaken, right? Isn't that going somewhere? Did we get official
announcement of that? Or are they just mocking us because we don't have anything yet?
I feel like y'all are going to sell beignets. I thought I read that somewhere. Hold on.
Well, we had those testing beignets, which were kind of like just like cronuts. And everybody kind of made fun of them a little bit. Some people really loved them.
They weren't real beignets. Yeah. I mean, if we get the smell over in ours, obviously it's going to drive people over to the Mint Julep bar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or, of course, to Tiana's Palace. But hang on.
Yes, and that is correct. They are called smellitizers, and they are Disney's scent dispersers, which send a dusty odor throughout certain locations. So, like the dusty smell is through Haunted Mansion. You have the ones on Main Street, USA, and Princess and the Frog will have freshly baked beignets, and it'll be specially brought into the ride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think, okay, so now that I'm looking at it, it's Tiana's beignets. These were introduced in February at Golden Oak Outpost in Magic Kingdom's Frontierland.
Yes. They're the they're the ones that we were talking about were kind of like cronuts. Again, very mixed reviews on if we actually like these or not. But
yeah, they don't look like ours. So interesting. No. Interesting. Okay.
So I don't know how I feel about that. Yes. Just so even this post that we're seeing, talking about this in this newsreel, they're even saying Disney is trying to make you hungry while you wait in line. Yes, but then we're going to be going like being like, where are the good beignets? We're going to have to go all the way over to Port Orleans French Quarter to be able to get these. So unless there's some stuff planned for food that we just don't know about,
you're just going to be hungry. Yeah.
Right. And we're going to be on the ride. So not only am I going to be soaking wet, but then I'm going to be like, oh, that smells really good in here. And it's not the smell of bromine. Again, I don't know how I feel about that. I love it. Again, I really like the adding into the storytelling and those little tiny details. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I feel like there needs to be some sort of follow through with the marketing on that. It's like y'all could be making a lot of money if you put actual beignets in the park, and good beignets. if I might add. So
right, exactly.
Well, that's exciting. I cannot wait to actually smell the beignets in line. But Danielle, I think I got to let you take this next story. This will be all you right here.
So sorry, sorry to our producer Chris that just heard the most high pitched like scream that I just said into the microphone.
Squeal.
So, sorry, Chris. The yeah. So I said it in it was actually a Disney content post, something that me and Megan are also working on, and I was calling out that we don't know when Country Bear Jamboree is going to be opening, and we were like, okay, well, we haven't gotten any other news. We don't have any other updates. We still don't have updates. We still don't know when this attraction is going to be opening. It still is slated for summer. I am betting that it's almost done, but they're choosing not to open it the same week as Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah, I would say that too. And it makes sense. Yeah.
And it totally makes sense. So I'm thinking it's either going to be right after 4th of July or, right, like even 4th of July weekend. I could see them opening that up too, just to add an additional place for people to go to. They just won't do the over the top fanfare that they're doing for Tiana's.
Yes, they want the full focus to be on Tiana's for that opening week, but I could see it being after 4th of July too. That makes sense.
But with this news, again, we didn't have a date, but we got to see a preview of Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah's outfits.
Yay!
And so the sunshine bonnets. Now they're not wearing bonnets anymore, but they are wearing really cute little cowgirl hats. And somebody actually, our friend Magic Bands and Trash Cans, Lemuel, who's one of the TikTok live streamers, he messaged me and he's like, Danielle, did you see that the colors are changing and everything? And I said, well, yeah, they're matching Trixie's outfit because Trixie and the sunshine bonnets are all going to be doing a duo together. So this is also, we don't know what Trixie's outfit is. We've seen it's obviously going to match in the pink tones. That's why they have more bows on their outfits, is because she has that giant bow piece on the top of her head. So I'm excited about it. Everybody's been like, okay, what's Danielle's opinion on it? I think they look very cute. They retouched up their faces. Their fur looks very nice and conditioned. They look gorgeous. I love it.
Yes, the outfits, the fur of the bears look so stinking good. I'm very excited to see this new show. I'm also really happy that I was able to see the old version right before they closed, so I can do a recent comparison. So I'm very much looking forward to the update.
Fresh in your mind too, you know?
Very fresh. Exactly. Yes. As shocking as it was for me.
And even Leanne, one of our regular DC33 family members, she's saying in the chat right now, these outfits are already screaming Dapper Danielle. And to everybody that's already asking if I'm already trying to plan outfits, I can neither confirm nor deny that I'm really trying to think of how to do a cowgirl pink outfit without people thinking that I'm Barbie going to Disney World. I want to make it clear that I am one of the bears. So we'll see what happens.
That's true. Because that was a big outfit for the movie, was her cowboy outfit.
Right.
Her pink one.
And the Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah outfits are giving very like cowgirl Barbie-esque style right now, just because the type of pinks that they use. But they are stinking adorable. I think I'm really waiting to see what Teddy Bear's outfit looks like.
Yeah. It's all very exciting. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm getting hopeful. I was a little judgy there for a second because I'm like, okay, I haven't heard any updates. We've been talking a lot about the Bayou, but we haven't been talking a lot about the Bears. So I was getting a little judgy there for a second, but I'm a little less salty now. Everything's good.
All good. It's all good. Well, we do have some news from the West Coast over here too. We have our Downtown Disney, as some of you may know, is getting a complete overhaul. We're getting additions. It's expanding out towards the Disneyland Hotel, and 2 new restaurants actually just opened right in the center of Downtown Disney. That's going to be Centrico, which is the old I think it was the Uva Bar. That's right next to Ballast Point and like Love Pop, all that good stuff, Disney Home. And then we also have Paseo, which is the main restaurant where Catal stood. And there's also like a Paseo to go. So you can actually just go grab some tacos or some food quickly if you'd like to. There's a little alcove right in there where you could get some some fast food. Not fast food, but food that's actually good, but you can order and then just take it to go. So it looks amazing. The atmosphere is just, it's very California, but also like, and it feels like you're kind of like in Cabo or something. I love the decorations.
It's just like elevating the experience of downtown Disney is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it looks really good. They did a good job. I have yet to eat there. I'm actually planning to in the next few days to just go and stop in and hopefully get some food and drinks. But so far, I've heard good things. So yeah, it's kind of exciting. That's the first big opening of something new that we have gotten in downtown Disney, because everything else, Tortilla Joe's has closed and they have to figure out what to do with that building. And then we are seeing the Din Tai Fung, the Porto's building. We're seeing all that on the ESPN Zone side. It's just, they keep going. They're trying super hard to get that up and running. So, but the construction's still going on for that. The walls are up.
What is it? It's that audio from TikTok that "Let me in, please." Let me in, please. As you're seeing more of these things, like you're seeing the signage slowly go up, and you're like, okay, when are you going to open? Just let us know because we want to eat with you. Thank you.
They're making their way. The stage area is super cute. You can go. There's usually seating all throughout that area, which is really nice. They've got like really comfortable chairs. They have tables, so I appreciate that. If you ever need to like just get away for a second, and they have performances on that stage. So that part, which is right in between those walls, is open. But everything else, was still very much under construction. But now we have Centrico and Paseo for some new restaurants, which is very nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, instead of downtown Disney, over in Disney Springs, there is a drone show that is coming here very, very soon. By the time this episode airs, I will probably have gone and visited this drone show. In all honesty, I was not interested. I was just like, you know what? It's fine. We'll see how it is. No. They announced in the TikTok and the Instagram reels that they were doing about this, that one of the characters that I know y'all know where this is going. One of the characters that they are premiering in this 10-minute show is a drone version of Orange Bird. He will be making a cameo in the show, and I am so excited. Oh my goodness.
You gotta go see your son.
I gotta go see my son.
As a big drone guy.
So I'm so excited. I'm actually gonna make a whole day out of it. This is my plan, y'all. This is my plan. Is that there's also a new bus wrap that debuted that it's just Orange Bird's face, and he's just like haha, and yes, he does have his eyebrows, which is great. And
how cute is that?
So my whole plan is I'm gonna make a whole day of Disney Springs adventures of trying to go find the Orange Bird bus and then go see the Orange Bird drone show, and then try to get orange related like snacks throughout Disney Springs. I'm gonna make like a whole day about it, all about my son. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be an experience. But the other cool things about this show is that it is using 800 drones.
Wow.
With this.
Incredible.
And it is incredible. We had a drone show a long time ago, again, for the holiday season. I think we talked about this on one of our holiday episodes, last season, basically.
Yes.
But this show is going to be Disney Dreams That Soar, presented by AT&T, and debuts on May 24th. It runs just about 10 minutes. It is seen twice nightly through September 2nd, which is great because heaven forbid, like either there's wind or there's weather, there might be another show later on in the evening. So there is a chance to be able to see it twice in one night. And the sneak peek video that we saw, of course, I already told you about Orange Bird, but it's also going to feature Peter Pan, Dumbo, Grogu, the Death Star, Baymax, Big Hero 6, and
so just casually all my favorite characters. Okay,
basically, so if you decide to show up for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we'll go see the drone show too. We'll make it a thing.
That's okay. Then it's settled. Okay, for the drone show alone, that just means I have to get over there. I think that sold it.
Yes. And now,
if I don't get in Tiana's, I'll go see the drones.
Right. We'll at least get to see something. And it does say that this new drone show will have iconic classics as well as a new original song that will inspire you to follow your heart, take a leap of faith, and reach for the stars. And the show is going to be at 9 p.m. and at 10:45 p.m. So pretty late, honestly, which is very smart. And if you are planning on watching it, the show is going to be directed. It's not going to be facing you can see it from the water over at the marketplace side, but the audio and the direction of where the drones are kind of facing is going to be featuring the west side, which is closer to Cirque du Soleil, House of Blues, Summer House, and the West Side Starbucks. So all on that waterway right there behind it. I saw their giant speakers. They've been testing out the show already. They're ready. And it is a partnership with a third party. So Disney doesn't technically own these drones. That's why it's only going until September.
This
2nd.
is a third party coming in and doing the show.
It's so funny. I have a couple of friends that are working in entertainment tech, and one of the jobs for one of their entertainment jobs is that they have a pontoon boat that they're going to run out. So in case, heaven forbid, a drone like malfunctions and starts to like go down, it goes down on top of the water. But the Disney cast member has to zoom out there on the pontoon. And then the third party that owns and operates the drones has to take a net and scoop it out of the water real quick. And it's just so funny of them talking about it and what they have to do to prepare for the show. So it's gonna be very cool.
Lots of high-end technology. So that's awesome. I'm excited to see it for sure. And speaking of shows, y'all, we did not include this, or we should include this, but Fantasmic is back in Disneyland. And as we are recording this, I am preparing for the first show on Friday mentally, because I know it's going to be a mad dash to get a spot to view it. But yes, Fantasmic has returned with a new ending. Unfortunately, I have not seen it yet as we're recording, so I can't give any sort of review on it, but I will in the next episode, season finale. I will have my Fantasmic thoughts for you. So thank you for being patient on that. But excited to have our beloved Fantasmic back.
I'm sure we will see plenty of videos over on the socials.
Totally. Yes. Lots of video.
But yes, we will have to go on a couple of Ratatouilles talking about this in the next episode.
Absolutely. Definitely. Well, speaking of Ratatouilles, Danielle, would you like to get to our game today?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Chris.
We're so close to the end of the season. I'd be doing the listeners a disservice if we didn't roll out the Wheel of Destiny one more time for this season.
Let's go. We love the Wheel of Destiny.
Let's do some underrated, overrated, or perfectly rated.
Okay.
All right. So the way it works is, Megan and Danielle, you'll both take turns giving it a spin. Whenever it lands on, you'll say if it's underrated, overrated, or perfectly rated.
All right. Let's do it.
Megan, we'll go first with you.
Okay. And spin. Ooh. Let's go! Yes, it has landed, everybody, on the canoes. Oh my gosh, underrated. Oh my god, don't even get me started. I love that Disneyland still has canoes that you actually can paddle, and I love the guides. They're hilarious. They're amazing. There's always a short line for this because no one wants to do anything physical at Disneyland. I am a workout fiend. I love being active, and I just think it's so cool that, yes, Disneyland, this has been an attraction since, I don't know if it was 55, I don't know if it was park opening, but very close to that. So I love the canoes, and I know it gets so much hate, yes, because you do sweat a little bit and one of your shoulders hurts a lot after the ride, but man, do I love this thing. I love the canoes. Underrated, and I will stand by that for my life.
I would agree with you, Megan. It is very underrated. I kind of wish we had something here similar at Walt Disney World, but then again, I understand why we don't have it here at Walt Disney World. Just because we have some other friends that come into our waterways, especially over there at Rivers of America, and our guests don't know how to behave around Florida animals. And but I think that is something I have actually not done yet over in Disneyland, because whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go do this, they close earlier in the day because they have to close before sunset.
Yeah.
So that is on my list to do next time I'm out there in California. So Megan, you're going to have to come do it with me.
Absolutely. Count me in.
Stretch beforehand to make sure I don't hurt myself too bad.
Yes. Got to get those muscles nice and loose for the canoes. Yeah. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, I'm sure you do. These are the Davy Crockett canoes that are right at the entrance of Critter Country. And there will be an actual riot if they ever decide to get rid of these. I don't think they will. But because it's also a tradition to do a cast member canoe race every year. They have teams of cast members that actually race these things around rivers of America. And I think that's the coolest thing ever. I've always wanted to like see that or be a part of it. But unfortunately you have to like, either be family or friends of a cast member or be a cast member to do it. Mm-hmm. It's early in the morning before the park opens. So I just think they're so cool. Anyway,
Disney World just did their competition here not too long ago. I think it was actually just like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They just did their canoe competition.
You guys have one too over there?
Oh yeah, we still have our canoes. They just come out of storage every once in a while. We trust the cast members to not mess it up, but we just don't trust the guest to mess them up. But Brianna even said that she said they opened in 1971, which I know they opened in 1971 here in Disney World. So maybe they just opened them at the same time and just made X amount of canoes for both coasts is what I'm kind of thinking.
That makes sense. Yeah. I know. Because they don't look like old. Do you know what I mean? Like they look relatively.
They were updated. I mean, they are. It's not like a real canoe, y'all. It is a fiberglass boat that you are paddling along. And
4th of July, 1956, a year after. Not even. Less than a year after park opening.
See, we love Disney Wiki.
Yes, it's according to Disney Wiki. And yeah, okay. So yes, and they were updated in 2021. No, sorry. They reopened after COVID in 2021, excuse me. Oh, no, okay. they've it's 1956 was the first year. Magic Kingdom was October 1st, 1971. Just so
okay, because it was probably such a success. And that makes sense because we talked about this. I talk about this a lot when it comes to Davy Crockett and his impact in the 50s. So it makes sense to do more things around him and then a chance to be able to ride the canoes that maybe you're just like Davy Crockett and you're taking the canoes around the fort and that's so cool. Yes. Mm-hmm. It is an icon and very, very underrated.
Yep. Yay. I'm glad we agreed.
Yes.
All right. Your turn, Danielle.
Okay. And spinny spin. Oh no, y'all, it landed on Genie Plus. Okay.
True thoughts revealed.
True thoughts, the tea. I think it is how do you phrase this? Because I wouldn't say it's perfectly rated, but it is okay, it's overrated if you're a regular. It is necessary and or perfectly rated if you are a one-time visitor to Disney World and you have X, Y, and Z things that you want to get done. This is one of the only ways you can guarantee that you want to get everything done on your trip. And that's with Genie Plus. Mm-hmm. For here in Disney World. I don't necessarily think it's worth it over in Disneyland. And just instead of doing the whole buying Genie Plus thing over at Disneyland, just buy the one-off thing that you want to do, like for Radiator Springs
and Rise of the Resistance,
and that's it. Don't worry about it for anything else over in Disneyland. Here in Disney World, I do think you need it, and it does work if you get the park hopping option, which is going to be the more expensive one. It's going to be the cost of the highest total for that day. If you're park hopping, go ahead and get that one, and you can use it once you hop into the other park.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say it is a little overrated because there are ways that you can maximize your time and get on the rides you want to without getting it. Like there are ways. Right. If you're there at Rope Drop, you can get so much, especially on the West Coast. Like you can get so much done at Disneyland, so much done at California Adventure. And hey, you might decide to do the $15 Radiator Springs Racers, which is great. Or I think it's the $21 for Rise of Resistance. Y'all, I have my ways for Rise of Resistance. You don't need to do that. But yeah, it's I do think it is overrated. I have only ever used it since its inception. I've only ever used it twice, maybe 3 times.
See, and it's
yeah.
I only think it's perfectly rated if you are coming during peak holiday season here to Walt Disney World during like the week of Christmas or New Year's. And if you are, this is your first time coming, or it's been a long time, you're going to need it to be able to get on anything during that week. Then
right.
It's kind of like it's a necessary evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. We have some people in the chat here saying overrated, especially if you aren't into riding a lot of rides. 100%. If you're not even interested in riding rides, or if you're a local, that's why I never get it, you know?
Right.
During the summer, Stephanie says it does make more sense to get for sure, because the crowds they can be a bit crazy nearly every day during the summer. Absolutely. And yes, like Danielle said, during the peak season. So for holidays, yeah, I totally get it. But, and yeah, there are a lot of single rider lines over, especially in California Adventure. Almost like every big ride has one, except for Guardians. So, yeah, you could just do that if you have a small party, or if you're willing to split up. That usually is a lot faster than standby. So there's ways around it, y'all. I am still begging Disney to have a prepaid option for the year to add on to annual passes or Magic Keys, like they did for the Max Pass, which was before COVID. I think that would be a very smart option, especially for locals, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. They are making way too much money on Genie Plus for that to happen. So, anyways, there's your hot take for the day, because that's a controversial one for sure.
That is. So again, necessary evil when needed.
Yeah. And now, Danielle, what I found out, I don't know if I actually told you about this, but what I found out through a TikTok video is that, so we now have 2 big Lightning Lane rides down, right? We have Tiana's and Haunted Mansion. They're down for basically a year.
Well, and Pooh Bear, technically, because wasn't that also...
Bear, it doesn't have Lightning Lane. It doesn't have Lightning, but it's an attraction that, we'd like to have open, especially with Tiana's being closed. But yeah, all the Critter Country's down or blocked off. So they had to add a Lightning Lane to Pirates of the Caribbean, which I was up in arms about because it does not need it. They had to add it because that is the last ride that has any sort of value as far left to the park as you go, right? That's the last one. Because there's nothing else beyond that. So once Haunted and Tiana's opens, I think they will get rid of it because they said it's temporary. That was actually a word they used, a temporary Lightning Lane for Pirates.
Hey,
I didn't even put
temporary until somebody realizes, oh, this is working out. Let's just go ahead and keep it around a little bit longer, and then we'll just temporarily remove it later.
I know, but every single day that line goes up on the bridge, and it looks terrible. Like it just does.
It's bad guest show is what we would call it.
It's causing some traffic issues, which I mean, Pirates does, especially during the summer. Like that just happens, but they need to have 2 lines open.
Come Phantasmic season. Where are those people going to go?
Exactly. It's gonna be a rough summer on the left side of the park. Yeah. So anyway, Ratatouille, another one. There you go. All right. Can we spin again, Chris? One more time each?
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right. Spin. I see Dole Whip on there. I'd like to talk about that. Danielle and I both, I think, agree on this one. I don't like spinning fast on the teacups.
I love spinning fast on the teacups.
Do you really? Oh, I think it's overrated. Oh, okay.
No, I
don't like it.
Me and Bippity Boppity Beard, we both we span fast on the teacups. Danny was there for it. He was not ready for it. He had to close his eyes at one point because we almost made him lose his breakfast. And I love it. But at the same time, now that I'm getting a little older, now I'm realizing, maybe we won't go as fast as I used to back in the day, but I like going fast on the teacups. I really do.
I'm okay. Then we have differing opinions on that. I think it's overrated. I definitely as a kid, and when I went with my brother who could spin that thing like fast, so insanely fast. It was fun, but now, as you get older and as your brain can't really keep up with that, and your brain and your stomach are definitely more in tune with each other. I get nauseous on that ride if I spin fast. So, I can't do that anymore.
I think it's underrated.
So. All right. We got 2 different sides there. I still like teacups. I just won't spin. I like to coast.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do another one just because that was like, okay? Or do you want me to do
Can
it?
I do one more? I could do a short one. I'll do a short one.
All right.
Can I
just
do one
another
more?
one.
Thanks. Bonus.
Just because you were so opinionated of like, oh no, that's not the one I want to do.
Oh, please stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. God dang it. Oh no, this is good. Okay.
This is a great one to talk about.
This is great. Okay, so it landed on Animation Academy, everybody. And if you watch my videos, you know that I have a undying love for Animation Academy. I love the drawings that you could go draw it. So, okay, this Animation Academy, I get it confused with the whole animation building itself. Animation Academy is absolutely delightful. It's a little free souvenir that you could take home. It's your own drawing of any Disney character. They change the theme with the whatever's going on in the park. So right now it's mostly Pixar characters for Pixar Fest. Sometimes they'll have a lot of Marvel characters. We've drawn Groot and actually, maybe Groot's the only one we've drawn before. But they've done Grogu. I don't know if they've done the Mandalorian. I think they have in there somewhere, but it's so fun. It's like just this cute little, 20 to 30 minute show, depending on if you do they also have advanced drawings, y'all. So if you are an artist and you want to challenge yourself, they have little red Mickey icons next to the characters that are hard to draw. And they have a few of those per day. So I absolutely love it. It's my little break room because first of all, the AC is incredible, and yeah, it's just your little souvenir that you get to take home with you and be proud of. So I think it might be perfectly rated, but if not, I'm going to say underrated just because some people don't know about it.
I would say the animation building itself is perfectly rated, but Animation Academy, some people aren't willing to go in and wait for it, or they don't realize how much time it takes. And so you'll see people enter in and then they just like leave. And I'm like, you guys are leaving in the best part of the thing. Sit down and draw the Mickey Mouse. So I say it's underrated.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I do love my Animation Academy.
Yes, icon. And we have a Animation Academy here at Walt Disney World, but it is over in Rafiki's Planet Watch here,
which
at
I
Animal
love,
Kingdom.
by the way. Y'all, if you ever get the opportunity, they don't have that very many shows a day because their drawings are a bit harder. They do take a little bit longer, but we drew Bambi one time. So fun. They have like a little the little movies they play about the animals before and a little bit during, and it's a really cool experience, and you get to take a little train out there, which I love. So highly recommend if you have an Animal Kingdom day and you got some free time.
They focus mostly only on animal characters because of that, because you are in Animal Kingdom. So if you want a little more diversity or changing that, like they change the characters almost every single day over in California Adventure, we don't have that same flexibility here. So definitely go check it out at both coasts. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Ready for one more from me, Chris? Spinny spin. What you gonna land on? Oh. Seeing Space Mountain with the lights on. I think, okay, this depends. Are you riding Space Mountain? Like, are you on Space Mountain when the lights turn on and then you're continuing moving? Or are the lights just on and you're going and seeing it on the People Mover? Because that's like a daily occurrence. But but if you were like, I only rode Space Mountain here at Walt Disney World for the first time because I got to ride it with the lights on, because I refused to ride it in the dark. And that was a cast member backstage tour able to go. It was when they were doing the opening stuff. So we got to be the test dummies and ride it before they turned the lights off to start the day. And I only rode it because the lights were on and I could see what was coming up in the track. And I loved it. I think it's perfectly rated. Now, if you're stuck on the track, that's a different story.
Right. I have not seen it on People Mover yet with the lights on, like personally. I would love to, but I have been stuck on Space Mountain over here on the West Coast and had to ride it with the lights on because we stopped, the lights turned on, and they had to push us all the way back down. So, as a 7-year-old, though, I cried the entire time. I was terrified. This was so scary to me. But as an adult, if that ever happened to me now, I'd be like, heck yes, let's go. This is so rare for it to happen.
As
and
a
I would
kid,
love
you
it.
don't know because you just think, oh, something's broken. Why are we on a broken ride?
Exactly. Why is this? Yeah, things aren't moving the way they should be. So I was scared. But now I have a newfound appreciation for it as an adult. So I would love to see it again. But yeah, so would I put it as? Maybe it's perfectly rated. I think
it's giving the context of why are the lights on and are we still moving?
Yeah, because if you don't know that it's super rare for that to happen, if you're just like, this is going to put a whole mess or a damper on my day because I have other things to get to, then that could that could suck a little bit. So
but for as like casual regulars that
locals that
y'all ride it all the time in the dark, to have something to spice it up, and if you get to ride it with the lights on, it's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot of track everywhere. Kind of crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
You realize how close it is to you.
Yes.
All right.
Well, yay. Yes. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for bringing back the wheel. That was fun.
Thank you for playing. And what I am noticing now that we've gotten to the end of the season is that we don't have a whole lot of things on our wheel. So feel free, if you want to have us add some stuff to the wheel, hit us up on our socials. Let us know what we should add to the Wheel of Destiny for season 4.
Yes, please. That was fun. Always a good time with the Wheel of Destiny.
Yes. I feel like we get to recap on like our personal feelings, like about Genie Plus and all those things.
That brings out the Ratatouilles for sure.
It does. It really does.
Well, thanks, Chris. All right. Shall we get to our countdown, Danielle?
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
It is time. It is time for our countdown. Our 10 through 6 of the Disney Channel shows, our personal picks. I am very excited to get into this and really excited to see what yours are, because I think I have a good mix of the millennial versus a little bit of the modern ones. So this is going to be good. Yeah. That's good.
I will be 100% transparent and say I actually have very few that I would consider like live action series, and a lot of them are animated series.
Okay. You know what? I could see that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it matches my personality. Like, it
totally does.
I was like, okay, who's this like real person talking on the TV? I loved cartoons. Like growing up, even if I didn't have Disney Channel, I would watch the cartoons when a lot of them, they did compilation videos, and you can go rent them from the library on VHS or the DVD compilations of them. That's what I grew up really with. So I watched a lot of reruns growing up.
Okay.
And
yeah, I love that.
But there are some on here that I do have very fond memories of, because like they would be what we watched at people's like at the sleepover slumber parties and those shows that would be on. So I do have a couple of them. We weren't also very particular with this list. So again, it could be a live action series, it could be animation, it could be anything within the Disney Channel realm. So we did include Disney Junior, even though I don't think we had necessarily anything from Disney Junior.
I don't think so.
We had, but like Disney XD, some of mine cross over into the Disney XD with the animation, and just regular Disney Channel also. But I don't think we included ABC necessarily.
No, it's all Disney Channel.
Yes.
All right. So would you like to start us off with your number 10?
Yes. My number 10, this one is actually more of a shout out to my younger sister, and because she really loved it also while she was growing up, and that was going to be Hannah Montana.
Nice.
I was really like, am I really going to include Hannah Montana? I'm like, no. She was an icon of the early 2000s. The series started in 2006, and it really got Miley Cyrus started where she's going in life now. And it was a very pinnacle TV show for a lot of kids in the early 2000s.
Yes, it was. Absolutely. This was a hot show back in the mid 2000s. And I mean, it really it was one of the biggest one at the time for Disney Channel. Yes, Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus, everybody just took off in their career. Well, Miley Cyrus for sure took off in her career. You know, it was a lot about like just growing up, and yes, she was a pop star, but she also had her like, you know, personal relationships and struggles there. So I think a lot of people could relate to it in some way. And plus the songs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. Best of both worlds. Her little, what a lot of the stuff that plays on TikTok now are the cut scenes that go from her little like, you know, riffs and stuff. The dramatic. Yeah.
I totally botched that. But yes.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's simply iconic. What can you say? It was one of the greatest ideas that Disney has ever had. So,
and they were really on top of it. The amount of like Hannah Montana guitars and wig and microphone sets, and the merch that you could buy of Hannah Montana at Claire's, crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, basically the whole store. Yeah,
the whole store there for a good hot while.
Yep, that merch was insane. Well, yay! Okay, good choice to start us off. Okay, so. Mine is, I don't know if it's before or after. I didn't do too much research on the dates, but my number 10 is Phil of the Future.
That's before Hannah Montana. Is
it before Hannah Montana?
It got canceled because of Hannah Montana. Like they were focusing all of the financials from Phil of the Future into that show, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is a good segue.
Yes, actually, I'll double check that as you're talking about that. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it was actually the show that got canceled because of Hannah Montana.
Got it. I just thought it was such a fun concept. I had a pretty big crush on Ricky Ullman at the time. And then Ali Mashaka, who I was also a huge fan of Ali and AJ back in the day. I know they're still making music, but I was a big fan of the early days of them. And so loved her. And I think it was just a funny show, especially with the parents and, you know, his experiences in, you know, at the school and everything. It was very entertaining. So.
Well, it was cool to like see the concept of like time travel and like people from instead of you going from the present to the future, it was the reverse of the future to the present.
Right. And they think that they bring all this technology, or they think they have this technology, but they have to like go with the times and obviously use what we have in the present. So,
right.
It was very entertaining, and I thought it was just one of the best ones they had. So there she is, number 10.
Okay, and yes, so Phil of the Future premiered in 2004 and was canceled, and like they ended the show in August of 2006 because Hannah Montana started and they were testing it out, and she premiered in March of 2006 and it immediately blew up. So they went ahead and took all the financials and moved it over to Hannah Montana. Okay.
Well, there you go. That's so funny that I chose that.
That was perfect timing, though. That was
right.
Great.
I know. Oh, I love it.
I remember seeing Phil of the Future, but I saw bits and pieces of it, like maybe the very first episode and some there in the very middle of the seasons, but I don't remember actually like starting it and actually like seeing their story really continue very much. I do remember watching it, but I just did not have the same like relationship to that show.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was all the kind of like funny situations they would get themselves into, and they also did want to get back to their time. They wanted to go back, obviously, to the future. Right. So, but at the end, you know, Phil and I think it's like Keely or something like that. Whoever Allie played, I think that's her name. They got together at the end, so I was like really happy about that. I was pulling for them the whole time.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm so
I shipped them in the very beginning as a child, and I'm happy they got together.
Yeah, me too. Yep. No, I'm very happy. Yeah. So there she is, at number 10. What's your number 9?
Number 9 for me. Okay, this one might be debatable. Actually, I was trying to decide, okay, does this one go up further on my list? But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put her right there at number 9. It's going to be That's So Raven.
Nice. Nice.
I did not realize how many catchphrases I still use of That's So Raven, and how impressionable I was in the few times that I did see it. I loved Raven Simone's character. I loved her sass. I loved her dynamic and her storytelling that they did in this show. And what is it? You nasty. I use that nasty. Still all the time. Yeah. Or like, what was the other one that she does? it's one of the other quotes that she says too. I that sometimes will come out every once in a while too.
So good. Just iconic lines from That's So Raven, and like the characters, the scenes, the songs, even
the
so
crossover
good.
episode with Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and she's pretending to be French. Bonjour!
Yeah.
Like, okay, that clip in particular, I will reuse that whenever I go see Beauty and the Beast on stage. I don't say it out loud. I keep it to myself. But when they're doing the bonjour, 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 and then mentally I'm going bonjour as Raven Simone, and it's great.
So good. So good. Oh, yay. Yay. I love it. That's definitely one of the best. And
sorry, Chris, that's another one that I just randomly am like screeching into the microphone for. So sorry about that.
Oh, too good. I have definitely seen every episode of That's So Raven. That was one of my favorites growing up. So probably on my countdown somewhere, but I'm glad it made yours too. Hooray.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to say that my number 9 is going to be a little boring because it is in fact Hannah Montana at number 9. So
that's great. I'm glad that okay, this one I'm kind of glad that we were in the same like mindset of like placement for this one. I don't know. She was very pinnacle in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
And we kind of touched on that.
A big figure in our lives, I guess, growing up around that time. Yeah, and I love the songs, the movies that came from it, and I'm still a Miley fan to this day. I think she's had her moments, but she's doing great, and happy for her Grammy recently. So it all started at Hannah Montana, and I'm here for it. Yeah, I wish they brought an actual like Hannah Montana character at Disney Channel, like, but it's okay.
Right?
That would've been
I'm
so
shocked
cool.
that they didn't do something like that.
I know. They had a photo op, but not a character. So maybe in the future, we'll see.
The actually here recently, a little ratatouille is here recently. I saw a clip from about that time, so about the 2008 era of Dolly Parton. Talking about Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus, and so she actually did quite a few episodes, and
because that was her Mima, in the show,
her grandma, and she is so sassy and so funny. And Dolly specifically says is that the Hannah Montana really actually introduced me back to a younger generation, and why so many millennials now love Dolly Parton also. I mean, unless you grew up with Dolly, but if you didn't, you were introduced to her because of Hannah Montana. And I think that's so interesting also.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's if you didn't really know too much about Dolly, I mean, there she was as Miley's Mima. And that's how I was introduced to her too a little bit. I knew a Dolly Parton, okay, but like
you knew of her, but not like actually seeing her in person and her running around on set in her stilettos. Amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was a big, major introduction for me to Dolly Parton. So I love that you brought that up. And just the side characters that you got for her brother, played by Jason Earls, and there you had Rico, who was hilarious. It was a good show. Yeah,
some really good dynamics on that show.
Very good. So that brings us to number 8. What you got?
Number 8. Wait, where did I write it down? Okay, this is a slightly newer show that came out in 2015, and it's going to be Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is a animated series. And she is from a different universe. And she is being sent to Earth because she is a troublesome princess that can use magic. And so she's basically sent in timeout to go like learn stuff on Earth and how to like be normal. And it's far from normal. And it seems really chaotic in the very beginning. And then all of a sudden they start adding in this underlining storyline and like all this like lore and this history. And you're just like, okay, we went way too deep in this show when we really didn't have to. And it's a lot of fun. It's very chaotic. I recently, I was a cast member at the time. I was actually a fairy godmother at the Bippity Boppity Boutiques, and that's what made me start watching this show. It was because girls were coming in talking about the show of like, oh, are you just like Star because you have magical powers too? And I'm like, well, she's a princess. I'm a fairy godmother. It's totally different because in the Fairy Godmother universe, you know all these magical characters. You know all these different cartoon characters because they're your friends. We all live within the same kingdom because if it's on Disney Channel, it's also a Magic Kingdom. So that's where I learned all about Star and Marco and her magical wand and all this stuff. So it's an Americanized version of magical girls from like anime, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. I do not know anything about that show.
I'm probably going to say a lot, Megan, that you don't know about.
That's okay. Yeah, I am out. I was a Disney Channel kid. I am now out of that community and that circle, but I appreciate the introduction to it and the explanation because it sounds really cool. I think that's a fun like concept.
Oh yeah. So it's a lot of fun and it's very big in the cosplay community for some of these characters too.
I see. Okay. Because I do see quite a few cosplayers that will dress up as things that I do not know anything about. So all the costumes look amazing, but I'm like, wow, who is that?
You're like, I don't know your backstory, but you look great, honey.
You look great. Yeah. Exactly. That's usually me with cosplay. But yay. Okay. I love it. I don't know much about it, but I love it. All right, so my number 8. Yes. Now this one is for sure mainstream that everybody knows. It's Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Woo! Man, was this show just like a main part of my Disney Channel life growing up. Like I watched this show pretty much. It's like That's So Raven to me. It's like it was Phil of the Future. I didn't watch as much as this, but like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I still quote some of the scenes from that show. Like, first of all, London Tipton getting into a car with the Prindle is one of the highly quoted scenes from that show. And I love that audio. It's on TikTok. And just like, it's little lines here and there from Dylan and Cole Sprouse were hilarious. I thought they were so funny.
Well, Mosby also.
Ted Mosby.
Show.
That's from How I Met Your Mother. Yes, Mosby. Yeah, exactly. And also and Arwen, who I thought was hilarious. The janitor.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So iconic. Yeah, and I think one of my favorite quotes from that show is Mosby, I think they lose somebody in the show, either his mother or it could have been London. And Mosby yells at the boys and he's like, "How do you lose a woman?" And then the boy, one of them goes and he's like, "You forget to cherish her."
Yeah. That's so funny.
There's some great one-liners.
So hilarious. Yes. Oh man. And it started the careers of like Ashley Tisdale and yes, Brenda Song. All of them really like absolutely fantastic. I think Zac Efron was a guest star in one of the episodes and it was after they did High School Musical. And that was one of my
everybody
favorites.
guest starred on Sweet Life. That I feel like Sweet Life really, because it was all featured in a hotel, it could be the cross world point for Raven. Hannah Montana was in that same special episode.
Mm-hmm. Selena Gomez had a little cameo before Wizards of Waverly Place. So yeah, no, it's true. But lots of people came on that show, and it was just funny. Like it was just a funny concept story with London Tipton being the ditzy rich girl. And yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. So, and then off of that, Sweet Life on Deck was good too. I liked the original.
Right. But Hotel, the first one had such an impact that they continued it on, which I think is interesting. Mm-hmm. And that show, I think, premiered, did I write that down in my notes? 2005, I think, is when that show premiered.
Mm-hmm. So
that had a pretty long run too.
It did.
And they kept doing reruns for the longest time.
Yep. That one stayed on Disney Channel for a while, and for good reason. It's very good.
Okay,
all right.
That was
number
a pretty
7.
Good choice.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Well, my number 7, we just talked about. We kind of mentioned it there for a second. It is Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh,
and Wizards of Waverly Place premiered in 2007. Of course, Selena Gomez being like the main lead in that. And I'm sure you heard, Megan, it's coming back.
It's coming back. I'm so excited. We get a reboot, y'all. Yay.
Hold on. Have we seen when this reboot is coming yet? I
think they just started filming. I don't think they have a release date yet.
Right.
David Henry is posting their filming, or that, like, behind the scenes.
Right. His TikTok's blowing up because now people are paying attention to that. They're just like, what do you mean? Like, you're bringing this back? What's going on? Yeah. And they're bringing back a couple of people that were on the show, and Selena is one of them.
Selena's, she's doing it. Yeah.
Which I'm shocked by. I mean, she's doing Only Murders in the Building, which is another great show on Hulu, y'all. If you were a fan of Wizards of Waverly Place, you're gonna like Only Murders in the Building. But Mom never really loved Selena's sass in the show and how mean she was towards her brothers. So I had to make sure, like, I didn't when we watched this, and like, if I started being sassy like Selena, Mom's like, no, none of that, don't do that. And but I love the magical aspect of it, and I liked the world building of the wizarding world. This was also the time that Harry Potter was also becoming like a really big thing, but this was like the Disney version of Harry Potter.
Yes, yeah, that is true. It is one of the best, just simply put. Hilarious. The cast is great, and which is why it is also my number 7.
Is it really?
We synced up. Yeah, we did.
I was really doubting we were going to sync up on any of our episodes. That's so exciting.
I know. It happened. Yes. This is one I did watch religiously. Pretty sure I've seen every single episode, at least up until, no, I think I did up until, the series finale. Through, Selena Gomez, love interests from the show. I think it's there's that British dude who I thought was super cute. He was the vampire. Was he a vampire? Yeah.
When are they not vampires? See, that they were also spoofing off of Twilight at the same time as all this going on.
Yes.
And
Bridget Mendler was also a vampire on that show with she was David Henry's character. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, somebody's saying it was Greg Sulkin, and he was a werewolf.
He was a werewolf. Sorry, excuse me. Yes, he was a werewolf.
Vampire, Twilight. It's all the same.
She was a vampire. Thank you. I know. Yeah. No,
they're
but like that is Twilight.
Pining over the wizard. It's fine.
Yes. But I mean, I thought Selena was hilarious in that show. She had some really good like one-liners. There's one I particularly remember that I always think of because she, she did her own thing. She slept in a lot. She was a little bit, not lazy, but just dance to the beat of her own drum kind of thing. And I just remember this one episode where it's like the middle of the day, right? It's like noon or something. They're all like making lunch, and she walks down because there's noise going on. She's like, guys, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night. Like, she's like she was fast asleep in the middle of the day.
The Dapper Danielle still to this day.
That sounds like that. It's the middle of the night. Like, I thought that was so funny. So
it's 12 p.m.
Yeah. Like, it's noon. What are you talking about? Yeah. Just a great show.
Yes. And the what was it? I loved the idea that they were living above the family business because they had the sub shop, and it was all themed to like a Subway. Not like Subway, but like a subway station, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And everybody wanted the spiral staircase that was in their house.
Yes. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah. I did like that a lot. Oh, and first, Harper. We got to give it up for Harper, the best friend. I love her.
The best outfits. The real DIYer out there.
The marker OG outfit, the marker dress, which, by the way, someone made that and wore to Disney Channel night, and that was my favorite outfit of the night. Someone wore the marker dress.
Love that. I think I saw a video later on, one of the other nights, somebody made the rubber ducky dress.
And the rubber ducky, I did see the rubber ducky dress too.
Y'all too creative. Y'all way too creative.
So good at DIY. Amazing. I could never.
Well, we are about to get on to our number 6, the last one for this episode, but don't worry, we will be continuing on for our top 5 in the next episode. And we also, should we tell them about our special guests that we're going to have for the next episode?
Yes, we do have a special guest. Yeah, for our season finale. Yes, we have a very special guest. It's going to be Rachel Potter. She is a Disney icon. Right now,
you might not recognize the name, but y'all know her, and you don't know that you know her. So
You know her voice, ladies and gentlemen, because she is. I mean, we could talk about her accomplishments, right, and what she's doing now. That's okay.
We'll go ahead and give them a little bit of preview of how we know her.
Okay.
Like, you know her recently from the most recent fireworks show in Disneyland.
Yes, she has one of the singing parts from Wondrous Journeys, and this is when the Blue Fairy comes out, and she sings a part of When You Wish Upon a Star, and it's her voice that's singing that right when you see the Blue Fairy. And then, as of late, she is also the lead soloist for the Fantasy Springs main song, which, is that right?
Yes. Actually, okay. I think right here, producer Chris, if you can play a little clippet of the song right here so we can kind of see what her voice sounds like. And y'all have been hearing this. If you've been on the Disney Tokyo side of TikTok as Fantasy Springs has been playing, every single person has been playing this song on social media. And
it's trending. Mm-hmm.
It's so trending. And it's a great song. It's so fun. It's like classic theme park sound. So yeah, take a quick little listen right here.
So beautiful. It's so good. I absolutely love it. So yes, Miss Rachel, the voice of that song, is going to be on our season finale episode next week. So we can't wait to have her. Can't wait to talk about her.
She's also been part of the Broadway fam. She she was part of the traveling show of Wicked. She played Glinda as a understudy. So she was on for Glinda quite a few times, traveling around. She's done a couple other things. And then also within the Disney community, Voctave, that we know here in Disney World, that's part of Voices of Liberty. She has been featured on a couple of their songs. She's part of that community too. And if I have a Halloween playlist, and I did not realize it was her until I was going through her Instagram. I was like, wait a second. She does the Ursula voice in one of the Voctave songs where it's I Put a Spell on You and Poor Unfortunate Souls. She sings Poor Unfortunate Souls, and it is amazing. The girl got some pipes.
She's so talented.
I'm so excited to talk to her and hear a little more about her story, how she got involved with all these random Disney things. I want to hear more.
I do too. I can't wait. It's going to be a great episode. So be sure to tune in. That's our last episode of season 3.
But don't worry, we'll be back for more. But until then, let's go ahead and get back to our number 6 option for our countdown. And Megan, my number 6 is Kim Possible.
Yeah, nice.
An
great
icon.
An absolute icon.
An absolute icon. Everybody wanted to be Kim Possible, right? So this show premiered in 2002. Everybody
went for a long time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was on for a long time. It had multiple movies and multiple longer episodes. Great lore building. I think that's really where they started testing out the lore building and some of their cartoon episodes. They really started doing that with Kim Possible.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. It started a lot of, exactly. The lore building. I mean, just everything about it, from the action, from her. She was so stinking cool with her little gadgets. Ron Stoppable being like the kind of like the comedic relief a little bit.
I remember having one of the toy like pagers.
Yes, yeah, the merch for sure.
And Wade was on the inside, like it was a sticker of Wade, and he would like maybe say one or two little quote things, and it would make a little beep beep sound. So cool. I thought it was so awesome.
What's the sitch? Oh yeah, the song too, the title song, which is simply.
Let's just talk about the icon song, not the title, even though it is like pretty cool. No. The Naked Mole rap is the icon of the entire series.
I love that song.
The fact that it's on my playlist, it's on one of my Disney playlists on Spotify, because I sometimes like it'll accidentally come on, like if I'm shuffling and I'm just like, whoa, was not expecting this to play next. And
it's a bop.
You can't change it because you just go right into it. Oh, so good.
So good. Oh, I remember that vividly. I haven't heard that in a long time, but I could still remember that so clearly.
Well, and I think I had also a Disney Channel music video promo DVD or something right? I don't know where this was. Maybe it was a free thing from like a Happy Meal or something like that. But I have a distinct memory of like, it was like 5 or 6 music videos, all from like Disney Channel, like shows in general. And the Naked Mole Rap was one of these songs. And I remember watching it vividly.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. So good. And also, I mean, just the fact that like Shigo has become like this amazing, or this big figure to cosplay these days. I've seen so many like Shigo outfits and like makeup looks and stuff. It all look incredible. So she's also like a pretty big figure because she was on like the villain side, you know, and she was so cool. It still is.
Everyone loves the emo girl in black and green.
Yeah, they do. That's right. Green always being that lime green, always being the villain color for Disney. Yes. Continuing with Shigo. Oh, so good.
What about your number 6, Megan?
My number 6, switching gears a little bit, is going to be Even Stevens, which is I think, I don't know if there's like a target audience for Even Stevens, but I watched every single episode growing up, and yes, it is a relatively older-ish show, early 2000s. Young Shia LaBeouf and Christy Carlson Romano. He had Beans in there, who was pretty funny. I thought it's definitely when Shia LaBeouf kind of came on the scene as like this really good actor, also this really good comedic actor. Like he was kind of just the definitely comedic relief guy. A lot of the dialogue in that show was really, really funny and very smart and witty. More of like I guess because I was younger than them at the time, I was like, oh, like these grown-ups are so funny and cool. And
the show premiered in June of 2007 and concluded in June of 2003, but they kept doing the reruns for a long time. They did.
So was it 01 to 03?
No, 2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay, so
03.
Okay, so yeah, it was like fairly early. So maybe I watched the reruns. I can't remember if I actually watched it when it was live or when it was the reruns, but
they always played it later on in the evening. So like, after all the main streaming things, I feel like that always would come on at like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Because it was a bit of a more mature show, right. I think. It wasn't necessarily geared towards the younger kids.
It was more towards the tweens.
The tweens, exactly. Yeah, because Ren was this like, you know, straight-laced, trying to be... you know, she was the older sister, always following the rules, and then, it was. I thought she was so cool back in the day too. I still think she's very cool, but it was a very funny show, and I think maybe even ahead of its time a little bit. But yeah, I had to put it in the top 10. So
all right,
there it is at number 6, Even Stevens. Where Shia LaBeouf's career got started.
Well, I'm interested to see what our 1 through 5 is going to be, because I feel like we talked about some big heavy hitters already with like Hannah Montana.
I know.
And some other shows like that. I'm going to be intrigued to see what your 5 through 1 is.
I am so confident in my 5 through 1. And I'm like, people can absolutely guess away with what's going to be in there. But I am like, I had this whole list I was very, very confident in it. So
okay,
I'm pretty proud of it, if I do say so myself.
And y'all, don't worry if you listen to the next episode too, and you're like, okay, wait, they didn't mention X, Y, and Z shows. We will be also doing a bonus episode later on, debuting here in another week or so, of our 11 through 15, the ones that barely made our list. And maybe if it's not in one of these two, maybe it's in the bonus episode. So make sure you're a paid subscriber or part of the Patreon to check that out as well.
Yes. It's going to be, I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. Excited to have Rachel on. It's going to be a blast. So thank you guys so much again for listening. We really appreciate it. We are obviously very grateful to be able to do this. We got our final episode coming up next week. And of course, we will be back for season 4 during the summer. So thanks again, y'all. And until we talk next time, have a very magical day.
And night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Naked Mole Rap is the name of the song. Here's the story, and all this glory of the happiness in the Rufus, and how my rhyme with Rufus. Yeah.
To have your name at the end of our new episodes and to receive a bunch of magical perks, please check out our Patreon via the link in the episode notes.
Or visit patreon.com/Disney Countdown Show. We'll see you there.